There is so much talk about women's hormonal health, which is great. But even though it's a bigger part of the conversation, most women are left even more confused about what it means for them and what to do about it, which is not so great. This confusion ends now. An award-winning German nutrition scientist created a powerful herbal formula called Hormone Harmony, which combines 12 powerful adaptogens into one single capsule. Each of these ingredients is carefully selected based on scientific evidence, and it's been proven effective in clinical studies for women of various ages and hormonal profiles. And Happy Mammoth, the company that produces Hormone Harmony, is famous for its zero-compromise policy. No GMOs, artificial fillers or flavors, or any other junk. Only science-backed ingredients in amounts that are clinically proven. The company surveyed over 1,500 women to see how Hormone Harmony helped them, and the results are mind-blowing. 86% of women started losing weight, 77% say it improved their mood, and 100% said they're feeling like themselves again. Hormone Harmony has over 50,000 raving reviews from women all over the world, with 98% of them saying they'd gladly recommend it to their friends and family. For a limited time, you can get 15% off on your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code HAPPYME, HAPPYME, at checkout. That's code HAPPYME at happymammoth.com for 15% off your entire first order.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road to fight monsters. That road has led them to fighting demons, angels, and saving the world.
It's a journey that is taking them to heaven, hell, and back. But they aren't done.
Join our journey as we go episode by episode, following the adventures of Sam and Dean Winchester. We break each episode down with the writers, producers, directors, crew, and actors to bring you the behind-the-scenes stories of how this legendary TV series was made. That guy right there, that's Rob Benedict. He played God and Chuck Shirley.
Hey, and that guy there, that's Richard Spade Jr. He played Gabriel, Loki, and the Trickster. And P.S., he directed a bunch of episodes, too.
Now, while we are insiders, we're also outsiders, because we're not experts. This is our first time watching the entire series, all 327 episodes.
Rich and I have met many of the fans at conventions around the world, and we are deepening our understanding of why you all love this series so much. Because it's really good.
Yeah, it is. Now, listen. There will be spoilers, so consider yourself warned.
And thank you for joining us on this trip we call Supernatural Then and Now. Hey, everybody, it's Rob Benedict.
Hey, everybody, it's Richard Spade. You're so cheery. What's going on, Robbie?
We're talking about Supernatural.
I mean, I've never heard you with such a spring in your step.
Well, I was excited that we're all recording and we're all going and everything is synced so far, knock on wood.
Yep, agreed.
We're talking about Season 7, Episode 18, Party on, Garth.
Party on, Rob.
Party on, Rich.
Why do you call me Garth?
You know why.
I do. This is also like, I know we're going to get into this, but rarely do things date Supernatural. But a Wayne's World reference certainly throws it into a time frame.
I wonder, I'm sure new, younger viewers don't know what that means.
No clue. There's no way.
Yeah.
I don't think the Wayne's World movies have held up like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and other sort of nostalgic comedies of their era. But, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, you never know. There are Saturday Night Live fans out there.
That's true.
And listen for more on that, I'm sure. And I don't know this is a fact, but I'm sure in our fun fact section, we're going to go over that.
It better be, or those facts are going to be snooze facts.
It will be fun.
Not fun at all.
Hey, before we get into things, I want to remind people that you can see video interviews with the cast members as an Archangel member on Patreon.
You can?
Yeah, just like the one we just did with Jared and Genevieve.
So wait, they get to watch the video component?
Yeah, they get to see it. In fact, my mom said, just now my mom's visiting, Viv. And she said that, some podcasts have videos. I said, we have videos, Mom. She's like, oh, I haven't seen them. I'm like, that's because you're not a subscriber.
Also, did she say it It sounded pretty passive aggressive, Viv. I'll be honest. I'm not sure I like her tone.
I said, we've got it. She's like, Joe Rogan and those guys have videos. Yeah, we have videos, Mom.
Well, would it kill you to give me access?
Exactly.
Now we know what to get Viv for her birthday.
Exactly.
A Patreon membership.
That's right. So you too can watch videos along with my mother, Viv.
And when he says you too, he of course means Bono, Edge, Adam,
and Viv. Okay, party on, Garth.
Party on, Rob.
So this is how it begins. A group of teenagers camps in the woods near Junction City, Kansas, which my mom said that is an actual place, Junction City, Kansas.
I'm glad that we have finally, we have Vivipedia.
Yeah, Vivipedia, yeah. So they sit around a campfire, these teenagers. They sit around the campfire and they tell ghost stories.
Now, did Viv go, that's what teens do in the woods? They sit around campfires. Like, did she confirm that too?
Yeah. When kids grow up, they become teenagers, she said. They sit around the campfire telling ghost stories, and one of them tells the story of Jenny Greentree, a woman who died and now haunts these woods. Trevor, a sibling of one of the teenagers at the campfire, comes
hold on. They're sitting around a campfire?
Yeah, they're sitting around the campfire, yeah.
Why wasn't that specified?
Trevor, who looks nothing like his brother, comes stumbling out of the woods drunk.
Dude, is it just me or do you, I smell two dads. You know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't, they did look nothing. It took me a while to figure out they're brothers.
Yeah, I did two dads.
He could see something that no one else can see and runs into the woods to escape. A horrifying scream is heard. The group rushes to the location and finds Trevor dead.
I was surprised they gave a crap because he came in being such a yahoo.
I know.
That when he screamed, I thought they'd be going, come on, knock it off.
Yeah.
But they actually had a real concern.
Yeah. Well, it is his brother.
Yeah, but he really made a show of himself there.
Well,
at the beginning.
I'm glad that they did because they found him dead with his guts torn out.
You're glad they found him dead with his guts torn out?
I'm glad that they went and find out what was going on.
Jeez.
Wouldn't they have felt bad if they did nothing and woke up the next morning wandering home saying, well, wasn't that a crazy night? And then they stumbled across his cold, dead body.
I guess.
Okay. Well, our old friend, the hunter Garth, arrives to investigate.
Is he our old friend or our new friend? Have we seen him before?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you didn't watch the before.
Oh, where Jared married your girlfriend.
That was this season, and
so what did he do in that episode?
He's just a goofy guy, and he had to be paired. He was paired with Jensen.
Right. Yes, because Jared was under a spell from
my girlfriend. Yeah. So Garth is just a goofy guy and a hunter.
Right. He's back. Okay, we love it. Here he's back.
So he's back. He locates Jenny Greentree's bones, burns them.
Yeah, a lot of very kind of 1980s sort of slow-mo homage stuff in Garth's. Yeah. Like he got a lot of cinema love from Phil Segrisha in this intro.
You've been Garthed.
The language, but also the cinema. Like, they'd slow-mo.
Yeah, they go slow-mo.
Play these theme songs.
Slow-mo Garth, yeah. And he prepares to leave town after a job well done. Trevor's brother Ray gets drunk, goes into the woods, and gets slaughtered too. Garth, while stopping for food, hears a police report about Ray's death.
I don't blame Ray, considering the town seems unaffected by his brother's death.
Yeah.
Like, we never see the mom being upset.
Nobody's really crying.
There's no cops in the woods. There's no cops combing the woods.
Yeah.
They would have it police taped off.
Yeah.
Very blasé approach to police work by the Junction City, Kansas police force.
Well, meanwhile, Sam and Dean are on the road. They get a call from Meg saying that Castiel's condition is the same.
Now we're going to go on a limb and say they couldn't afford Meg or Castiel for this episode.
No. Yeah.
It's like, hello, Meg.
Also, it's
who? Castiel?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Put Bobby on the phone. But also, it's like the way of saying like, so just, this is going to be an off.
It's its own thing here.
It's its own thing here. We're not going to worry about that for a second. We're going to have a standalone monster episode. Dean gets a call from Garth, who asks for his help. The brothers head to Junction City. There they find Garth at the morgue, posing as Ray and Trevor's cousin. He's dressed in a military outfit. Says he's about to be sent off to the how do you say that?
Ship out.
Ship out. Yeah, I'm about to ship out.
Hold on real quickly. Sam and Dean did not like him dressed up as a military guy.
No.
But I wondered about that because they're dressed up as FBI guys. Why does it matter what costume you're wearing?
I think it's because he just went a little bit
overboard,
farther than he had to. Yeah.
Okay.
He lied too much, And they said, why? What's up with the outfit? And he says, I look good in uniform, which is really funny because it fit him. It was really baggy on him.
A little large.
Yeah. The trio discovers that the teenager's father, Jim, owns a local microbrewery.
They find that out really quickly, by the way, on the morgue computer.
Yeah, the morgue computer. Yeah. All of a sudden, in this episode, Sam is is like, it's like Mr. Robot. Like he's a hacker.
He's a hacker. He's like Kirk Cameron from Sneakers.
He's like Kirk Cameron from Sneakers? Kirk Cameron was in Sneakers?
I don't know. No, River Phoenix. Somebody like that.
It was River Phoenix. It was definitely River Phoenix, not Kirk Cameron.
I apologize to the Phoenix family for that slip up. Look, dude, we're just improv. We're riffing.
I know. Yeah.
And it just came out. Kirk Cameron.
I know. But if it had been me, you would have gone to town. So I have
Thank
to
God
pause.
Kirk Cameron was not in Sneakers. I mean,
thank God. You know who was in Sneakers?
Steven Dorff.
My sister Amy.
What?
True story.
Amy Benedict?
Amy Benedict in Sneakers. And Jason Manns had a huge crush on her from that movie before he met me.
Dude.
Crazy story.
That is insane. Imagine if he'd been able to capitalize on that crush and he was your father.
That would have been really, really weird. Although I don't know how that makes my father if he marries my sister.
Are you a scientist? I don't see a lab coat on you. Just go with it.
All right. What if Kirk Cameron had been my father? That would have been really weird.
Dude, Kirk Cameron.
So anyway, they head to the microbrewery to ask some
I'm really glad
questions.
that Kirk Cameron's not your father.
Me too. At the microbrewery, they discover that Jim currently owns the brewery with Randy Baxter. Now, there used to be a third partner, brewmaster Dale Lampert, who committed suicide when he found his partner's intention to sell the brewery. All the people involved with the brewery seem upset and complicated. They seem complicated.
I'll be honest, they might seem complicated. They don't seem that upset. I'm going to leap in here and say...
Not as upset as you'd think. This is a pretty big deal.
I was a little... The fact that they're open they come in on a Sunday, days after the death of both their brothers and or son.
They're working there in uniform.
The sister is there. She literally has never seen more emotionally balanced and fine.
Both boys are dead.
The dad is mildly edgy.
Mildly edgy, yeah. Dale's widow is currently suing the surviving partners. So Jim heads home. His daughter Lillian and granddaughter Tess are there. While getting ready for dinner, Tess accidentally has a drink of Lillian's cocktail.
By the way, Lillian's got a little Benedict in her.
I know. I said to my mom, I was like, this family drinks.
This family knows how to put a little stank on it. A little pre-dinner. Dude, not 3 fingers of vodka, but like a tumbler of vodka.
Oh, no. It's 3/4 vodka.
It's 3/4 vodka and orange juice, which is what, a screwdriver? That's
It's a vodka with just a sprinkle of orange juice.
Yeah, literally, it's like somebody with an orange hat pouring vodka into a glass. Like it is.
Yeah,
really intense.
Yeah. So the daughter, who's now a little tipsy, the granddaughter, she sees a ghostly figure in the house. Jim doesn't see anything, but Lillian does, and the spirit rips a hole in Lillian's chest.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a bummer. Cool effect, though.
Yeah, cool effect. With the hand going all the way through.
Yeah. It was cool because the classic Phil, he made it really complicated and interesting where you could see like the shot of the ghost, and then you kind of pull forward and you reveal the lady with the hand there. So like, it didn't seem like a fake torso. Like I actually don't know
how he did that. Yeah.
I would love for Phil to have, next time we have Phil, we may have to go back and retroactively ask him a few questions here.
We're of course talking about Phil Segresha, who directed the episode.
Maestro.
I like a little side note here. I like to try to guess who wrote and directed it before that credit comes on screen. So I've got like a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, I do the same.
And in my mind, I was like, Phil. I don't know what it was about that first scene in the woods. I was like, Phil, it's going to be Phil. And I was really happy for myself in my mind.
You knew it was Phil. But
did.
Dude, I tip my cap to you because I did not get it. You know what came to mind? Tell me if you think this is way off. Guy B.
Sure.
Because of some of the humor at the top.
What about this? Guy C. Back at the motel, Garth, Sam, and Dean are trying to put the pieces of the clues together. They hear about Lillian's death over the police scanner and head there to investigate. Garth uses a hand puppet, Mr. Fizzles, to question Tess.
Yeah.
And the little girl opens up, and Dean the whole time is going like, well, what the hell? Put the puppet away,
Yeah.
But the little girl actually opens up to Mr. Fizzles and admits she had some of her mother's adult drink. The team realizes you have to be drunk to see the monster. Garth theorizes that Bobby is haunting the brothers through his flask.
Would you have opened up to Mr. Fizzles?
I do. I would.
No, I'm asking, would you have opened up to Mr. Fizzles?
Yes, I would. Yeah. You should try it with me sometime.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a weird scene. It was funny. Funny Mr. Fizzles is funny, but there was also something about it that it couldn't be funnier because this little girl has lost 3 members of her family.
Fizzles is kind of a douche, if I may. I mean, like, I know there are a lot of people who are very much on Team Fizzles. The little girl literally has suffered tragedy upon tragedy.
Yeah.
And has now witnessed the death of her mother.
Witnessed the death of her mother, yeah.
In a gory, confusing, otherworldly event that ripped her torso open.
Yeah.
And saw this demon. Yeah. And Mr. Fizzles calls her a liar.
Liar. Yeah, liar. Yeah. So it's hard to go all out on the comedy there, but
I'm just saying, a question Fizzles techniques.
Yeah. Hashtag question Fizzles. Later, Sam is interviewing Dale's widow.
I know that people would say the results are what matters here. Fizzles got the intel. I'm going to say that kid's damaged. A kid can't see a sock monkey without, going into a cold sweat.
Right.
From there on out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you might say fizzled out.
Man, see, there's the joke they missed, Rob. When he was done, he should have said fizzled out.
Later, Sam is interviewing Dale's widow. She tells them that before Dale died, he sent Jim and Randy a fancy bottle of sake.
Sake.
In an ornate wooden box.
Ornate wooden box.
As a sign of forgiveness. Sam and Dean meet at the brewery and find the unsealed sake bottle in Jim's office. And of course, as they do, they hack into the brewery security system.
Yeah.
In a matter of seconds, they're in. They seem to realize that if they want to see the spirit, they'll need to get drunk.
How many times have you tried that on me? Want another drink, Rich? No. Do you want to see the spirit?
You want to see the spirit?
I don't know. Do I? Get drunk and find out.
So they get drunk real quick in the office there, and they see the ghost on the security footage. Suddenly, Randy shows up. What the hell?
Randy?
They're busted drunk in his office. But Garth appears behind Randy and tases him. They take the bottle and box to a Japanese restaurant to have the writing and carvings interpreted.
I want to tell you something real quick, sidebar. You notice something cool Phil did? It's a few scenes earlier, but he did something cool here too. We talk a lot about the poor man's process in this podcast and how great it is and how it's the next level. Did you notice the poor man's process shot Phil did? And it leapt out at me because I've never seen that in our...
From behind the window?
Bingo. He came through, he was doing a French over basically and then moved the camera around.
Yeah.
They never do camera moves really with the poor man's process because it's complex.
I was specifically noting it in this episode. It's so good. I'm always taken out of movies, even still, big movies, where it's obviously on a green screen.
No, it's the best poor man's process in the business.
Oh, man. I mean, it helps they're always driving at night.
Well, that's probably, but they figured that out.
Yeah.
They understood, and a little drizzle on the window and all of it. But they go from the back to the front like that. And this shot was cool that got us into this scene.
Yeah.
Because it was across Garth and the driver's seat. Yeah. Kind of, Garth throws a look, we rack focus, and there are the guys going to the door. It was just a very cool shot. Phil added a little classic Phil panache.
Oh, yeah. And it really, there's so much movement. You feel like that car is for sure driving down a highway. Well, they take the bottle and the box to a Japanese restaurant to have the writing and carvings interpreted. And the waiter...
I actually thought this guy was great.
This guy was great.
Yeah.
I love this guy. The waiter or chef, maybe?
Representing who could translate the sake and the lore and all that. It was great.
Yeah. So he tells them the bottle contains a shoujo spirit. And Sam and Dean head back to Garth's motel room where he has Randy tied up in the hot tub. They research and find out that the shoujo...
Show me what? Say, that's what I would say if my name was Joe.
Right, shoujo.
Show me what?
He said to show you. I already showed this to Joe. They research and find out that the shoujo takes what you took. In other words, Jim and Randy took Dale's brewery, his child, so he cursed them with his shoujo spirit that will take...
Not fair.
Jim and Randy's children and grandchildren.
Not a level playing field.
The only thing that can kill a shoujo is a samurai sword blessed by a Shinto priest. Well, Sam watches over Jim's remaining child, and Dean heads out to... this is news too, right? That kid didn't know that he was Jim's child.
Yeah, because somehow Garth intuits that Randy had a love child with a secretary from some internet research, but by also seeing that is the disciplinarian to the workforce, but gave this guy an extra chance. You know, a lot of chasms being leapt across here by Garth.
Right.
Turns out he's right, but...
So Sam watches over Jim's remaining child while Dean heads out to find a blessed samurai sword.
Blessed or blessed?
Blessed.
You really have a hard time not being Shakespearean with EDs, I notice. You're like...
Yes.
The accused.
Thine blessed samurai sword. Garth heads to the brewery to warn Randy's illegitimate son. So that's they make that leap. At the brewery, Garth faces the shoujo, but gets knocked out. Sam and Dean show up. Dean must drunkenly battle the shoujo with sober Sam giving him directions. Dean drops the sword, but it mysteriously moves to him just in time.
Did we know that so you mentioned the priest thing. We knew the gentleman who was giving them intel was a Shinto priest? Or is it just because he's saying the incantation correctly?
I think you just said the incantation correctly.
Okay, because he's just using the words of a priest, not actually.
Yeah.
He's not some ordained.
And it was supposed to be dipped in the stream, and instead he just pours
bottled water on it. Yeah.
Bottled water over it. Yeah.
But are we assuming he had spring water? So my thought was that must have been spring water in the bottle.
Yeah. He stabs the shoujo, killing it. As they leave, Bobby's ghost reveals himself. And, it turns out it has been him. They have a whole sort of denouement of this episode where Dean is questioning, is it Bobby that's trying to send us signals and give him and sort of help give us these hints and stuff and help us out. And he comes back in the hotel room and Bobby's standing there and he's like, there you are. And Bobby thinks he's going to come talk to him and he goes past him and gets the flask. So Bobby's like, you idiots.
I'm right here, you idiot.
Yeah.
Can we tip our cap to the samurai sword sequence killing the woman was really cool.
It was cool.
The way the sword got kind of moved through the body and you could see the sword.
Yeah.
And then the way the woman appeared and then fell backwards and then she fell apart, then the sword fell apart. Like the way it all played out was really cool.
Also, let's tip our cap to the shoujo spirit actress.
Oh yeah, she was creepy.
She was creepy and she had to be there a lot. Get makeup on. She was, she's in a lot of the episode. Anyway, so what'd you think, Richard Spate?
I enjoyed it. There's a lot to enjoy here. A lot of levity. Again, I kind of felt like I didn't love how unaffected by the death of their brothers and sons the characters were at the brewery.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like there's the emotional content of the death of the kids was completely absent.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know that was his sister walking around. She was leading around like, yeah, it's a bummer my brothers died, right? That's the sister.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Obviously went for the humor of the guys getting drunk and all. I thought the visuals of what they could see, how Phil shot now I'm drunk and I'm seeing this thing was really cool. Be it, it felt like a lens trick or maybe it was post-production, but it felt like a lens add-on or some kind of, filter that was giving that look and it was really cool. What am I going to do? Do you have, what were your thoughts?
I thought Garth is funny. DJ's hilarious. Garth is really funny and silly, and he's such an interesting character. And
DJ is just has a style unto his own that he does really well.
Yeah, and it was really fun to see, and that part of it's really funny. There are parts of it that, like, I chuckled out loud.
He was very genuine. Like we're talking about like the people reacting to the death. I thought DJ brought the character of Garth is the character of Garth, and he does a great job with that, and so that was a cool...
Yeah. I think the issue I had with it is because the episode didn't know if it wanted to be comedy or drama.
That's exactly right.
The monster part of the episode, even though they had to get drunk to see the monster, and that's silly, but the fact that you're killing children is not funny.
And the monster was scary. The actress was great, and it was great.
Yeah, and so, like you said, even the interview with the girl, like Mr. Fizzles, that's funny. But the fact that you're talking to a girl whose two uncles just died and her mom just died, then the Mr. Fizzles is not, don't feel free to just like laugh hard at Mr. Fizzles. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. That was sort of the challenge I found for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm torn on this episode. It had a chance to be like super funny, but because some of the subject matter was so serious, I didn't feel free to laugh. But Garth is a fun character, and
DJ's always entertaining.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about it. Are you ready to give a rating?
I'm thinking, man. I'm ready when I can think of what I think it should be.
Well, while you're thinking, why don't you run the tape on the song that we play?
Okay. Let me see if the band's ready. Guys, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 3, 2. R. Rob and Rich. Ratings. Okay. Oof.
I think I got mine.
Okay.
I'm going to give it the Tommy Chong.
Okay. I need a little description there.
It's a full beard Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong back in the day, back in the 70s, 80s. Always had a full beard. It's a bit, it's not incredibly well groomed. He's Tommy Chong, stoner.
Right.
Stoner Tommy Chong. And it's funny. He's funny. He's a funny guy. And it's a full beard, but it's not like the beard you think of when you think the ultimate beard. It's Tommy Chong. So it's a bit unkempt.
Right.
And because it's Tommy Chong, it's not incredibly realistic because it's all, comedies.
Right.
So, yeah. But I'm going to give it the Chong and not the Cheech. Just Cheech was just a mustache.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's how I feel about it. The Tommy Chong.
I'm giving it the Tyler Hayes.
Okay. Your cousin-in-law.
My cousin-in-law, the man behind BDDW, the man behind M Crow, where M stands for beard rating.
Uh-huh.
Tyler likes to grow a beard. He doesn't really trim his beard. He lets it grow the way God intends. It's kind of got some gray in it, got some scraggle in it, but it's cool. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on in the beard. It's a man's beard. No apologies made for that beard.
No apologies.
And so that makes it like, yeah, that's a beard. At no point do you go, oh man, that's like a well-groomed,
the ultimate beard, yeah.
Yeah, designed, crafted beard. It's not a curated beard. It's just a beard, man.
Yeah.
Just a beard.
Yeah.
So I'm going with that, which kind of is in line with yours. It's kind of like, hey, it's a beard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be in the Smithsonian? No.
But mine's a beard on a funny guy. Tyler's not known for his humor, but
no, but he is a humorous fella. He's an intense guy though, so I guess I'm putting the beard on the intense part of the show.
You're right. Our beards together are the beard.
Yeah, and also Tyler is a, as you know, a funny guy. He's got even his is an intense sense of humor, passion for life, a joie de vivre, if you will. So I'm going to say this gets to Tyler Hayes.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about the interview we've got coming up for you. DJ Qualls has a robust resume across TV and film. His movie credits include Road Trip, The New Guy, The Core, The Last Day of Summer, and Carved. He's appeared in such TV shows as The Man in the High Castle, Fargo, Memphis Beat, Breaking Bad, and My Name is Earl. You, of course, know him as Garth Fitzgerald IV. Here's our interview with the one and only DJ Qualls. Well, DJ, let's start at the beginning. How did you get your start in acting?
I always wanted to do it. I did it in high school. I grew up in the rural South, like about 50 miles south of Nashville. And there was just no way to really say it out loud without being laughed at or having your ass beaten.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It was viewed as very feminine. And I went to London to go to college. I started at Belmont in Nashville and then went on an exchange program and then stayed. And I got a degree in political science and law. And I worked in a law firm in London. And then, but it wouldn't leave me. So I found myself like walking around Leicester Square where all the premieres are and looking at the theater posters and sort of increasingly dreaming about it. And then I found out what it would take for me to do theater in London, and it was impossible.
I have a question to add here because I'm fascinated by this. How long were you in London?
Like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's intense. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'd never been on an airplane before.
Wow.
I found University of London in a book, and then Belmont had a plan, an exchange program there. And so it was sort of serendipitous. It was far. They spoke English. It wasn't in the South. I really wanted to get out of the South. And now I'm old enough to see all the beautiful stuff about it. But at the time, I was like, I want to get out of here. And being gay and all that stuff, like it didn't help.
Yeah. You didn't feel like you fit in there.
I didn't feel safe or connected to my environment.
Right.
So then my work permit ran out and I realized if I'm ever going to try to do this, I can't do it here. So I flew back to Nashville, got a job at a lawyer that advertises on television, Bart Durham, who is...
Not Bart Durham.
Bart Durham.
Dude, because DJ and I are from the same area. He was the one and only guy who advertised on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah, he actually, I think, was involved in like a Supreme Court case in the 60s that allowed lawyers to advertise on television.
Whoa.
So he was like the original ambulance chaser.
Oh my God.
And I worked there.
Accidentes.
And I liked it. We had a case once where there used to be a drag queen bar like way ahead of its time in downtown Nashville called Legends. And like you'd go to see Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton and all these people. And our Reba McEntire impersonator got hit by an 18-wheeler. And so we had to go to court and like the Dolly Parton impersonator shows up as Dolly Parton because they're going to work.
Oh my God.
And this was like in the late 90s. So it was really interesting work. And then that wore off because the theater was calling. And I was doing a play at TPAC, Tennessee Performing Arts Center, at night. And a lady came up to me from a casting director named Shay Bentley Griffin came in from Atlanta to see my show. And she's like, you should be a professional actor. And I went down to audition for a one-line part in Road Trip and wound up getting a lead. And 9 months later, I was on The Tonight Show.
Wow.
It scrambled my brain. And then I wound up doing and then I was in People Magazine and all that stuff, and all the publicity that comes with it. Because back in the day, we almost had a studio system still. Like they wanted you to be famous or recognized before your movie was out if they'd sunk a chunk of money into it. So they put me on the red carpet with Russell Crowe for Gladiator because both our movies were DreamWorks, and I just had this whirlwind. And then I started working consistently, and I think I did 10 movies in 3 years. And then it slowed down, and I got really depressed because I was like, I don't know anybody anymore. People's lives had moved on. I had to form sort of a home base in Los Angeles because I was always on location.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But then like anything, it becomes part of who you are, and we're so adaptable that And another thing, when I first started acting, the online stuff is terrible, and I feel terrible for kids because, people have an opinion of them all over the world. But there was something that sort of hit different of when the New York Times says human bookmark DJ Qualls shines. So that's what it was like. And I on my life, I've never had a bad performance review ever, but they couldn't help but taking shots at my appearance because I wasn't what people expected a Hollywood actor to look like.
Right.
And then that faded because then you become part of the zeitgeist. You become part of this sort of collective, well, this guy belongs here. He's one of us or one of those people. And I settled into it probably around 2010. And it was just supposed to be.
So let me ask you this. Was Road Trip a pleasant experience?
It was in so many ways. So how that played out, I went to audition, didn't hear back for 9 weeks. I get a call from Ivan Reitman's office when I'm at Bart Durham's office saying that they want me to fly to Los Angeles to meet with him. And so I pawned the title to my car. I stayed at that Westin at the airport that's shaped like this, the white one at LAX that you see when you fly in.
So they didn't fly you out?
No. They did not fly me out at all. And so I booked a Priceline room, a budget rental car, and then drove into Ivan Reitman's offices on Wilshire in Beverly Hills. And he was like, if we give you this, your character will do this. Are you okay with that? Like being, in my tidy whities and all that stuff. And are you okay with simulating sex and all that stuff? I'm like, of course. And and I was like, when do I find out if I have it? And he said, do you have an agent? I went, no. And he went, you're hired.
Oh my God.
I got scale. I had to fight over them paying for my room for 16 weeks in Atlanta where we shot it. No rental car.
Oh my God.
But I didn't care. I would have done anything.
No, it's a life-changing gig, man. I mean, that's...
Yeah, my dream is coming true in real time. My first days on set, I didn't know any of the jargon. I didn't know, anything about the camera. But it felt like home. Like I instinctively knew a lot of things, like camera angles and how things should play and the cadence of a joke. The only unpleasant thing, and I've spoken about this a couple times, is that, and I actually said it on The Tonight Show, and I realized that you're not supposed to be that honest. Breckin Meyer, the movie was pitched as his vehicle, and, he'd been working for years and years and years, and he wasn't kind about the attention that the character got. And it's the character. The story is about sort of finding yourself, not necessarily about the plot. He apologized to me at a gas station near my house several years ago. I mean, so it's been squashed, but it's part of the history.
Wow.
How were the rest of the guys? Were the rest of the guys nice?
Amy Smart had to take her shirt off for the first time, her top off for the first time in a movie, and asked me to come and to the closed set and sit behind the monitor and tell what I saw. That created obviously a sense of trust. Sean William Scott is so not Stifler, and he's shy and soft-spoken. And imagine what that's like. Everybody in public during that time thought he was a bro, and bros approached him. And I think it made him a little insular. So, and then I have memories like this. I'd never had sushi before. And we went out for a cast dinner for sushi, and Amy Smart could see that I was terrified, and I was trying to hide it. And she was like, just do this. And I was like, so those moments are really special to me.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I knew Amy back in the day. She's
great. We recently reconnected.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We are going to take a quick break.
Hey everybody, Rich Spate. You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting it from your old wireless bill company. Those guys, come on, man. It's summer. Like you're planning beach trips, barbecues, 3-day weekends. Your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why I made the switch to Mint Mobile. And you should too. With Mint, you get the coverage and speed you're used to. You like the finer things in life. You like, to be on it with the internet and the cell phone service. You deserve that kind of treatment, and they deliver it. But they're going to do it for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. All the plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. You can yap and yap and yap and yap with your besties, and it ain't going to cost you any more. And it's all delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. What's up, G? Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your old phone number with you. That's right. You don't have to diss that old homie. He's along for the ride, along with all of your existing contacts. The service is as good as or better than any service I was using. You get everything you want and need out of a cell phone, and you'll pay a fraction of what you've been paying. So make this the year. Skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get the new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/supernatural. mintmobile.com/supernatural. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hey everybody, it's Rob. How's it going? I was sent this email by our producer, Stephen Hine, that said Quince wants you to come check him out again. And I was like, oh yeah, Quince. I love this place. I love this site. So I went on. Just like literally a couple hours ago. Got myself a shirt. I got myself a new Apple Watch strap. I got myself a bag. And they've got everything. Like cozy cashmere and cotton sweaters for just $50. Breathable flow knit polos. Comfortable lightweight pants. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with the artisans, the people that design these outfits, and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you really nice items without the markup. The other part I really like, and I'm thinking this as I'm scrolling through, is that they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And they only work with premium fabrics and finishes. This is an excellent website if you're looking for clothing that is affordable. I'm super excited to try out my new stuff, which I found very easily, by the way, just by scrolling through the men option. And, they have a lot of women option as well. They've got something for everybody. So keep it classic and cool with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/STN for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/STN. to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/STN.
Hey, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan again. Welcome back to the podcast.
I get asked this question a lot. Which character am I most like, or do I most want to be like? And it is Garth. The patience of that.
Right.
And the seeing around behavior. And I really think that I'm closer than I've ever been to that.
Well, actually, we see in this episode too, he's good at his job.
Yeah.
He's not just the comic relief. He's funny. It's a funny character, but he's actually good at his job.
There's something about Garth that's a bit of a badass. I mean, the truth be told, you do it with humor.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like Garth has this sense of humor, but at no point, to Rob's point, do you feel like this is not Barney Fife?
No. I mean, he's a ward of Bobby's. And Bobby's not going to send somebody out into the world who couldn't do his job.
Right.
But being Monster of the Week, there's a certain amount of necessary levity to break up a heavy storyline.
Sure.
And I understood that, and the writers understood that. Adam Glass wrote Garth so beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I played him, the sort of deeper it got.
Did he write your first episode too?
I think so.
Okay.
Garth was mentioned in an episode with Bobby was on the phone, I think it's season 6.
Yeah. Rob and I noticed, we're like, oh, they're talking about Garth before we see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Adam did write the majority of Garth.
Huh.
I know he certainly wrote this. And this is where I think they really started developing the character.
Did you audition or
They offered it to me and I turned it down because I was just come off filming something and was so tired. I also was at the tail end of a depression. I've had issues with depression on and off my whole life, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know. If you asked me if I was depressed, I would have told you no, because it creeps in and it becomes part of your operating normal and then eases out, and that's just where you are. And I was at the tail end of that, and I couldn't wake up. I was just tired all the time. And then they called back and said that they wrote this with me in mind, and I'm like, that is so nice. That I want to go up there and do it. And then I did, and you know that movie Sliding Doors where like Gwyneth Paltrow makes the train and her life's one way, and it's so like that. What would my life be like now had I come? And it taught me a lot about coming from a place of yes when it makes sense. If it can make sense, then you could do it.
No, and it changed so much for you.
And it was just and also there was some insecurity in that. They sent along 2 episodes, and one is an episode I think where Sam like falls down a hole and winds up in hell, and everybody was so handsome, and I was like, I don't want to be on camera next to that.
At least at least you're tall. You can like.
That's right.
Yeah, you got that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
In the morgue scene, you're standing tall with those guys. I'm on 4 or 5 apple boxes. So did you know Jensen or Jared before this?
I met Jared a couple times casually, like at parties and stuff, but I never met Jensen. Then this happens to me a lot. I didn't know the show. Like when I did Breaking Bad, I'd never seen it before, but the script was so good that I was like, of course I want to do this. And then I had them send me the whole first 2 seasons and watched it. And then they asked me to come back and I said no, because I you can't enjoy things anymore if you see too far behind the curtain. And I loved being on that ride. And Supernatural also after.
Wait, you said no to coming back to Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I was on it just enough to sort of know what was happening, but not so much that I knew like the caterer and the costume designer and all of that stuff. And a pure viewing experience is really important to me. And there's only a couple of things I've ever watched where I can sort of suspend disbelief if I know the people too well. And one of them is Yellow Jackets. Like I know Melanie Linsky pretty well, and I can separate it somehow. But I felt like this when I was watching that show. Like just that sort of the third to last episode of Breaking Bad is the best hour of TV I've ever seen. Still,
yeah.
And I got to go with the cast and to the finale party and see everything fresh. And I really liked having that experience. And the most I was going to go back was like 2 times. And I didn't want to do it.
Interesting.
And I'm glad that I didn't.
You wanted to keep your viewing experience pure.
Yeah, that's I mean, I'm trying to process that. So your desire to remain a viewer kept you from wanting to be more involved in the show. That is a trip, man. That's a real trip.
Here's the thing. It wasn't just any show. It's so good. And the scripts are like, what?
Yeah.
And when you read that, and I got to go and play, and then I started watching it and then I realized what I was a part of. And that also changes it.
Right.
And I just loved the show. And I missed like Seinfeld. I was living in the UK during Seinfeld. So if you miss a major cultural moment, like it's sort of, even though if you go back and retroactively watch it, you're still not involved in that time in history.
Right.
And like I love going to the movies, and I've recently started going a lot like I used to. That communal experience. I just saw the new Final Destination movie in a packed theater, and it is relentless. It's not the best thing you've ever seen, but the group experience in that meant so much to me. There was a lady and her like 13-year-old son sitting next to me, and from minute one, you get no break. And she grabbed me and apologized. And then we spent the next hour and a half doing this to each other. But when she left, she said that her favorite part of experiencing this movie was experiencing with me.
Yeah.
And I felt the same. So that kind of communal experience around media is a rare thing. And Breaking Bad was that for a lot of people. I didn't do that with Game of Thrones. Like, I watched the whole thing in the last month before the finale aired. And there was a cool thing about that, because I was tweeting that I was watching it. And look, when I would freak out, people were like, is that the Red Wedding? Like, I wouldn't tell exactly what I was seeing.
Right.
But I didn't get that, water cooler experience.
Right.
And I wanted that with Breaking Bad.
That makes sense. With Supernatural, did you, obviously comedy is what you do. Did you improvise at all?
I didn't have to. It's so well written.
Right.
There's a cadence to a joke that you don't want to mess with too much.
Yeah.
But how you improvise, I think, when you're doing something like that, which is like you have to hit facts, and how you improvise is by like changing up the rhythm of how the lines are delivered.
Right.
I developed this sort of like thing to respond to Dean, like this sort of like, oh, you're broken, sad person, I love you. That was the way I found it. But on this show, I don't remember anything that was necessarily improvisation for me.
Yeah.
I did spend a lot of time trying not to be broken by them or messed with them, because I have a low threshold for that. And once I go, it can be hard to control.
Yeah.
But they got me a lot off camera. I didn't know that fart came in a can. It does.
Well, that's gross to know and news to us. And where do I not shop for that?
Exactly.
Good Lord.
Well, it was all over my trailer.
Oh my God. I feel like there should be follow-up questions. I just don't want to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a Jared thing. Where there's a fart on the Supernatural set,
there's a Padalecki.
Exactly.
There's a Padalecki, yeah.
I got to say, I'm not surprised by your improv answer. Not that you're not a whiz at doing that kind of thing, because you are, but in our history of watching the show and seeing people come and go, that tends to be the pattern where people don't really improvise. They do a good enough job creating the character and crafting the rhythm of that character's pattern and dialogue that it tends to sustain itself without people coming in and patterning it up. And like you say, and that changes, with your serve, it changes the return.
That's right.
Pretty substantially. That's
right. And I also have a thing about improvisation. Like, if somebody knows that you're doing it, it's really like, it's like watching somebody masturbate. It's like our job is to serve the story, not peacock.
Yeah.
And I get embarrassed for people. Like, I'll laugh at it, but I get embarrassed for people who, this the one up and the this and the that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's not for me.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's also what I've learned being at this age is like, it's okay. Some things are just not for me.
Right. Sure.
But when it calls for it, sometimes I'll be at home with a script and be like, oh, you were this close. You were right there.
Right.
If you could just do this.
And you do it. And then you go there and you do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense.
What I really appreciate about your performance too is that it's not just for comedy. Like we said, you're good at your job and you believe the character. And so the humor is subtle with Garth.
It's also grounded, Rob. Like, Rob and I were talking about the episode before you came on. You do not make a choice for a laugh.
No.
You make a choice for a character.
That's
you
right.
specifically come in and like, we were talking about the scene where you're dressed in army gear, and like he has a reason why he's in the gear, and then later on he's like, "Yeah, I'll switch back to the suit."
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Garth has he's coming in with his approach, and it's not the guys may go, "What are you doing?" But you have like, "This is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing."
Garth is not trying to be
That's
funny.
right.
And I love that.
And thank you for pointing that out, because it was so intentional on my part. Because when a situation or like a costume or something runs big, you play it dead straight, because the character believes it.
Yeah.
Also, it looks, you betray yourself. You betray your intent.
Dude, 100%. I've never been a fan of like even improv, like SNL, when they laugh at their own skit.
Yeah.
Like it pulls me out completely.
Me too.
And not that this is that, but if you're winking at the audience at all, it's a neon sign.
And also, we're just the vessel that the story's told from.
Right.
There's like 200 people on the other side of that camera. There's a writer's room. This has gone through a lot of people. A lot of people's lives are there.
Right.
And I'm cognizant of that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go in and try to kill it every single time. Every time I go on a set, I have to believe that it's my opus because I agreed to be there. And as actors, a lot of times you get on set and it's not your opus. But you said you would. Yeah. And because you said you would, there's nothing that can't not matter.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
So you appear, this is your second episode. You do 6 in total, which Rob and I have 4 more to watch, which we're excited about.
Yeah.
And God willing, Rob willing, you'll come back and talk to us again. But in preparation for that, and without too much spoiling, do you have a favorite?
This is my favorite.
Oh, cool.
This is my favorite for like so many reasons. The first is Jared took me off campus for lunch one day, and it was my first day that I had to be drunk, and we went to Cactus Club. And I found this sweet chili chicken dish that wound up being the thing that I eat every time I eat on Supernatural.
Oh, funny.
And it's one of the only things I've ever been able to eat a lot of and not get sick of it. You know how you eat on camera and that thing can be dead to you?
Yeah.
But Jared talked me into doing 2 tequila shots and then took me back to work. And that hit me pretty hard. And he left. I didn't know. I didn't know he was leaving. And so I was by myself on a set where I don't know a lot of people.
Oh my God.
Like feeling a little drunk, but playing drunk. I mean, I wasn't, annihilated.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The sock puppet thing was a big deal for me because, so I had this dog who I adopted who had hydrocephalus. And he could only walk in a circle. He's like having a giant hamster. Like he had a flat forehead, a giant head, little body. When people asked what he was and I said Chihuahua, they were like, I don't think so. And they told me he would die before he was 2. This dog pissed on my belongings for 10 years, and I loved him. And so he was non-responsive, and then I found this weird high-pitched voice that he responded to, and that is the voice that I gave to Mr. Fizzles. And then George...
Wow!
Yeah, and then George wound up passing, like, before the episode aired, and I mentioned that when it aired, and the producers sent him to me. They sent me the puppet.
Oh, no way.
And you know how notoriously stingy they were with props.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they gave them to me and I still have them. So there are all these other things around it. And being introduced, my theme song being Poison.
Yeah.
Just so many little moments that were, and I think this is the episode where I burned Jenny Greentree's the witch, her grave, and I'm walking away.
Yeah.
And there's an explosion. I don't think that maybe this episode.
Yes.
And they yelled out, like, throw your coat over your shoulder and like walk away like a cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I did it and I panicked. I whipped around and hit me in the face.
Yeah, I saw that. It's really funny.
And that's the take they used.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
And that was
I love that. We landed on the home run. That's great.
Yeah.
And I see why. Dude, it's great for your character. I had no idea this is a Garth episode. This is not an episode with Garth in it. It's a Garth episode. Yeah. And it's great for all those reasons because of the uniqueness you bring to the character.
Thanks, brother.
It's so fun, dude. And like, you got to come back and talk to us again when we get further down the road with your
next
character.
Episode. I know that your last one is when you dance, right? In season 15, we did.
So, spoiler alert. So when things happened where I couldn't hunt anymore, the reason for it was because I was working on another show. And because I had to take a regular job because you need regular employment.
Sure.
But you'll see me, get into a relationship. And one night in the middle of the night, I sent the producers an email asking them to kill my wife because I knew that Garth would never go back to hunting. I miss hunting so profoundly. Like, it's addictive to put on that coat.
Sure, I bet.
In a small way, like putting on that coat with Jared and Jensen and being a hunter, which is sort of like, what the show is about.
Yeah, it's being a superhero.
It made me feel, if you had to fight for a feeling of belonging, like in the world, it was a way that made me feel like I belonged. And when I didn't put on that coat anymore, like I was sad. I was really sad by it.
Yeah, I get that.
But it all worked out. They wrote me the most beautiful send-off. Like, I cried when I read it. I cried when I did it. It's called A Hero's Journey. And Garth got to be the hero. And it was it was magic for me.
That's awesome, man.
It's funny. It's not funny, but it's interesting because we started this conversation about a pretty astonishing entree into the business with Road Trip, where they made you feel like an outsider. And in Supernatural, you were intrinsically, as a person and a character, an insider. And that's cool.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it spilled over into my relationships with you guys. And now we are forever united. We will see each other forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it or not, you're stuck with this, DJ.
That's what I always tell people. I love you. You'll never rid yourself of me.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, we're not going to rid you of us for this podcast. We're going to have you back and talk more.
Thank you.
And I know that, like, we see you all the time on the road, but I can say for me, this is definitely the longest conversation I've ever had with you, and it's been fantastic. Really cool.
Thank you. I love you guys.
I love you too, DJ.
Love
so
you too,
great
pal.
to talk to you.
Thank you for your
Always.
time, and thank you for your honesty, and thank you for your talent, man.
I'll see you very soon.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey there, this is Jared Padalecki, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. But we got to pull over for a second for some messages.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states. It can be overwhelming to manage a business, especially when you're first starting out. Your to-do list just keeps growing every day with new tasks, and that list can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool not only helps you out, but can simplify problems you haven't even encountered yet. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify can help you easily build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm.
Hey there, thanks for listening. Now, back to the episode.
Well, that was just, I mean, I got nothing to say, but holy cow, great interview. I mean, dude,
great interview.
The origin story, we could have spent an hour on that.
Yeah, I know. Fascinating. And
did you know any of that?
I knew some of it. I talked to him a little bit about Road Trip back in the day, but no, not altogether like that. And I didn't know about his specific experiences on the set. I knew about him being discovered, but crazy journey that kid has had. And
dude, I knew that Road Trip was his first thing, I guess, and I knew that he was quote unquote discovered. I didn't realize it was discovered in that kind of like gal gets off a bus and producer pulls over and he gets in the car and he's off to the races, or like that sort of classic Hollywood story where I just said a he
9
and a
months
she.
later,
You know
he's
what I mean?
on the Tonight Show.
He literally that's an insane story.
Rags to riches, crazy.
Go in for one line, come out with the one of the top 4 leads of the movie,
and so great for Supernatural that they were able to get him, and here we are.
And is it just me, or are you just sitting here? I'm gonna have to lie down to think that he didn't want to do Breaking Bad.
I know. I was like
I gotta call my therapist. I need help processing this.
I know. Is there something wrong with me that I'm like, I could forego enjoying the show?
You know what? I don't need to be at my wedding. I'll take that job.
Totally.
My children will probably be born again. I'll just go ahead and show up to set.
Yeah, please. I mean,
Good balance. Nice work-life balance, DJ. Very, very inspirational.
Yeah, true that.
There we go. Robert, this is the part of the program where we switch gears from grounded, earthly facts and move into otherworldly ideas I like to call mythology.
Okay, this one, Rich, I'm going to need you to walk us through. And it's not really for me, it's for Joe. So show Joe.
Okay, I'll show Joe. Joe, you might not know this, but in Japanese folklore, well, let me show you, Joe. You're supported by supernatural spirits known for their love of sake and their joyful red-faced appearance. This gal was not red-faced, by the way, in the episode. Just for the...
No.
She's very, very pale. They're not malevolent, but somewhat playful. Again, this one didn't get the memo. Not playful. Yeah, no. Playful, cheerful beings, often associated with good fortune, mirth, and intoxication. The Japanese version is at times depicted as a sea spirit. I gotta tell you,
this one was land-based.
It's land-based and cranky and pale. All right, well, there you go. But I'll tell you, the concept of, showing Joe originated in Chinese mythology, where they were more animal-like, similar to red-haired apes or orangutans, just like in this episode. These beings were later adapted in Japan into more spiritual, human-like figures. The Japanese version has its own unique characteristics rooted in no theater, only cinema. No theater. It's not based on any theater. No, it's no NOH theater, no theater, folklore, and literature. The showing of Joe, the show Joe's appearance and motivation in Supernatural is more of a reflection of the Japanese Onryo, a vengeful spirit, which is why it was so ornery.
Onryo. Okay, that makes more sense. This one,
not red face, no mirth.
This one was like the what's the movie I've never seen, but the movie where when you watch this video,
it was like The Clash, or it's called.
Where they have the weird little spirit.
It's exactly what it reminded me of. What's that movie called? Horror movie starring
what's her name from Mulholland Drive?
The Ring, which by the way also is I believe based on a Japanese movie.
Yeah, it is. It is. The Onryo.
On Blitzen, on Donner, on Blixen, on Royo.
When I swipe right, I do.
Is this about you on your dating app?
Isn't Ryo? Never mind. Cut that out. That's it's bad. Nope. It didn't work on all.
Trey, that stays in.
I've never done dating apps, so I don't know. But there's one called Raya on Raya.
You can tell three old married guys staring at you, or two of them staring at you, going, "Huh?"
Staring at the one other married guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, let's ramp this up a little bit.
So we get out of your dating app advice and go right into fun facts.
The title of the episode is a reference to Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
The SNL skit and movies starring Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. In the films and skits, Myers and Carvey often exchanged the catchphrase, "Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth."
Yeah, that was funny stuff. There was a joke in early Wayne's World that my sisters and I thought was so funny that we still use. If Mike Myers, they're talking about some actresses pretty, you know how they like talk about various actresses or whatever, and she's Babelicious or whatever, and Mike Myers goes, "She's Babe-ticious, and I should know. I'm a licensed babe-tician."
You could hear him saying that.
Yeah, dude, it made me laugh. Funny. Made us laugh so hard. I'm a licensed babe-tician.
In the movie, the sort of the viral part of the movie was when they're in the car and they sing the lyrics to the famous Queen song Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah, that was a big,
and it was a big deal because we hadn't really referenced that song in a bit at the time. My friend Michael DeLuise was one of the friends. There are two other dudes that they hang out with, the guys in the back seat. And one of them was my friend Michael DeLuise. And
he must be still cashing checks.
Probably. But yeah, I remember him telling me there's long sequences where Wayne and Garth are talking and the bros in the back seat are just hanging out. And he said they would play this game where they would follow a make-believe fly around the back of the car, so their eyes are kind of darting around, just looking at it. And when you look at it, if you watch it, that's what they're doing.
That's awesome.
They're just like following a make-believe fly with their eyes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Rob, do you know any foreign titles for this movie?
I know the German title was Garth's Welt, Party Zeit, Excellent, which means Garth's World, Party Time, Excellent.
Well, you know what? That's Germans for the win because it's way better than the Japanese, who you think would have a title for this and that made sense.
Yeah.
Because there's sake involved, there's Onryo involved, there's all this stuff. But no, they simply went with a title that I don't even understand how it's relevant. But I guess there is something earlier on that said it could be a sea spirit, so maybe that's the correlation.
Yeah.
But the Japanese title, which obviously I can't read it correctly, I don't want to insult the Japanese with my accent, but the loose translation is the happy fun boat that kills you.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's new.
Yeah.
Well, the brothers are driving an AMC Pacer, the same car that was driven by Garth in Wayne's World.
Nice.
That.
Deep cut.
Wow. And at the end of the episode, Garth says, nice car. Interesting. I completely missed that.
The cold open with Jenny Greentree's Tree was filmed at Foreshore Park in Burnaby, British Columbia, on the incinerator side.
Oh.
You've heard of Take a Walk to the Wild Side. They took a walk on the incinerator side. I didn't know there was an incinerator side.
Yeah. But I always find that my parks are better with a little foreshore.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. We never got to meet Jenny Greentree, by the way.
No, just we saw her bones.
Never saw her. But as you texted me, she sounds hot.
Yeah, I didn't, but she does. The Guanaco food truck, where Garth buys a meal, is a real Vancouver food truck serving El Salvadorian food and is owned by supernatural camera assistant Jose Manzano.
Oh, have you ever had it? Jose, they brought that to the set every now and then. It was really good. Jose's mom ran it.
Huh.
It was great.
Didn't know that Jose was from El Salvador.
That part I didn't know either, but I knew about the food truck, and it's awesome.
Huh.
The sock puppet, Mr. Fizzles, is credited as himself.
That's funny.
To avoid any union conflict because he is a teamster.
That's funny.
I think
that's really funny.
So there you go. Well, I don't think anybody sees the credits anymore on these things because it shrinks to the side, or he goes next episode in 5 seconds, or whatever. So if it's in the closing credits, you don't see it.
Yeah.
But you know whose name is in the front of the credits?
Who?
DJ Qualls.
Yeah. And also, I don't think they credited Jim Beaver because they wanted that to be a surprise.
Ooh. Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah. But that was those were good fun facts.
They were
Steve.
pretty
Thank
fun.
you.
I got to give Steve credit.
Well, fun episode, fun interview, fun time all around.
Agreed. I mean, the bearding was tough. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was tough because of dying children. It's never,
And drunk children. And, parents not mourning the loss of their children. It seemed off-brand for most parents, but hey, whatever.
Right.
It was, but, you got the deft hand of Phil Segrisha directing an Adam Glass script. You're gonna have some fun stuff, good stuff in there, and
absolutely,
sure enough, there was. And then you throw in a little DJ Qualls and kaboom.
Yeah,
you got a fun episode.
You know it. Well, we'll see you on the next one, guys. We're making our way. We're almost to the end of season 7. Can't believe it.
Wow.
Well, actually, we have like 5 to go. It's like
we have an eternity to go.
But 32 episodes in this season. But this episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester, Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Guest stars include DJ Qualls, Terry David Mulligan, Andrew Francis, Debbie Podolsky, Eric Keenlyside, and Julia Rhodes.
Party on Garth was written by Adam Glass and directed by Phil Segrisha.
Editing by Don Cook, music by Jay Gruska.
The ADR mixer was Jason Oliver.
Always crushing it, Jason Oliver. Executive produced by Robert Singer and Sarah Gamble.
Supernatural was created by Eric Kripke.
The episode featured the following song as Garth walked slow-mo through the frame. Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe.
This episode originally aired on March 30th, 2012.
This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Speight Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine. Written by Stephen Hine and Haida Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty.
What's up, baby?
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
The episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studio.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and YouTube at SPN Then and Now.
Become a member of the podcast to get early access, chat rooms with other podcast fans, and video interviews at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now.
So I've never seen an episode of the show.
Same.
I'm only now sort of on my life path where I've come into acceptance.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually pretty cool to see stuff. I've seen bits and pieces of this episode, and I certainly have tons of memories. It's my second episode.
Right.
But yeah, I've never seen it.
That's the same with us.
We do get it, man. We came to this. I wouldn't say I hadn't seen any, but Rob and I had seen very few, and now to go episode by episode in order has been a real education.
I mean, Sam has done it, and I know you guys so well, and like the show, I think more than any other job has changed my life, like in my personal life.
Sure.
And so it's weird to watch my friends pretending. And also we spend so much time together, like, touring around the world that,
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we obviously Rob and I, the three of us have been buddies for a long time. We've been to, I don't know how many countries, I don't know how many cities, how many states.
Yeah.
But I have not, and I've seen your work in other things, but I hadn't seen your work in Supernatural. So it's been really fun to go, oh, that's why people pose with a sock puppet.
Yeah.
Or that's why, you know what I mean? Like the inside, that's why Rob makes a toilet paper joke, because I hadn't seen Rob's stuff, some of it.
Yeah.
It's fun to see why our friends are beloved on the circuit.
Right, totally.
Jim Beaver said that recently. He was like, he's also going through the show. And he was like, that's why. And I'm like, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, totally.
It's pretty neat, man. I got to say.
Yeah. I was thinking that we play you on usually with that Garth Brooks song when you're at our conventions, the Supernatural creation conventions. But we should do Poison. That would be... because that's your theme song here.
Mm-hmm. I love that song.
Yeah. All right. Yesterday we did our podcast, Steve, and the whole time he's eating Chex Mix. So his entire thing is while I'm talking.
Hey, in my defense, you didn't say anything while we were recording.
I didn't know because I couldn't hear
it.
And then a couple of times he chokes on it. He's like, so wait,
that's not true.
That's so true.
You took my candy bar, ergo, I'm taking your schwanz.
Right. Well, they research and find out that the shoujo takes what you took.
Uh-oh. You know how you know they took your schwanz? There's a little marking on the wall by Wang Stensler. Wang Stensler reappears to leave the mark of the schwanz on the wall.
I can't believe you guys left that in the podcast. This whole bit about Wang Stensler stayed in the podcast.
You were sure it was going to get edited out, too.
Oh, yeah.
You were real relaxed. You're kicked back, your feet up, like, have at it, guys. Wang Stencil yourself to death.
Yeah.
And then, boom. Next thing you know, you're on a billboard in Times Square.
Exactly. Back at the motel, Garth, Sam, and Dean are trying to put the pieces of the clues together.
Guy, eh?
They're trying to put the pieces of the clues together. They hear.
Do you think it's weird if Guy B is in Canada and they're like, "So you're Guy B, eh?" And he's like, "Nope, just Guy B."
I see. Hey, I want to just point out a real quick Steve Hine thing. They sit around the campfire. Telling ghost stories. I like it.
Well, you know why? I get it. He's trying to build. He's like, they sit around the campfire. Yeah. They sit around the campfire
telling ghost stories.
It's not just sitting around the campfire. Meanwhile, Trey's screaming, "It's called." Like Trey's single. He knows, right? Is Trey single or is Trey married? Well, Trey better not know. Trey, this is a test. I hope you passed. Look at this son of a spider.
Now, the only thing that can kill a show.
Oh, kill it.
Oh.
Spider. Hold on. I got to kill this.
He's such a great podcaster.
Nice try, buddy.
Story Mill Media.
It's ticklish business any way you look at it. Come on, we'll stick together.
Love movies? Love classic movies? So do we. Ticklish Business is the podcast where classic film is discussed in modern times. Hosted by me, film journalist Kristen Lopez, and my co-host, author Emily Edwards, we dive into the golden age of cinema with fun, heart, and serious expertise. As published film historians and lifelong classic movie buffs, we bring insider insights, deep research, and lively debates with a variety of special guests, ranging from celebrities like Holly Madison to TCM luminaries Dave Karger and Eddie Muller, and even family members of old Hollywood legends. Subscribe now to Ticklish Business on your favorite podcast app, and let's talk about old Hollywood today.
American history is full of infamous tales that continue to captivate audiences decades or even hundreds of years after they happened. On the Infamous America podcast, you'll hear the true stories of the Salem witch trials and the escape attempts from Alcatraz, of bank robbers like John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd, of killers like Lizzie Borden and Charles Starkweather, of mysteries like the Black Dahlia and D.B. Cooper, and of events that inspired movies like Goodfellas, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zodiac, 8 Men Out, and many more. I'm Chris Wimmer. Join me as we crisscross the country from the Miami drug wars and Dixie Mafia in the South, to mobsters in Chicago and New York, to arsonists, kidnappers, and killers in California, to unsolved mysteries in the heartland and in remote corners of Alaska. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. Find Infamous America wherever you get your podcasts.